You may be asking yourself, Prissy, what did you just throw on this table? And to answer that question, it would be the materials to make my overalls, because that's what we're doing today. So I'm gonna run you through a little bit about what I've got here. To start with, I have the hardware for the overalls. So I have the straps, and then I have the buttons to go on the sides of the pants, and then I have the adjustable sliders, and I got all of these from Joann's for about, I don't know, like 12 bucks, 11 and some change. I have these two pieces of clothes, which are going to be what I'm going to use to make my pattern. So I have these guys, which are just some overalls. They're so cute, they're little striped overalls. But you know, I'm making overalls to paint in, so I'm gonna use the cute overalls that I have to go off of. And I would just use these overalls as like my total basis, but they kind of don't really fit perfectly. They're not as comfortable as I would like them to. I think the torso is a little too short, and so I get some wedgies when I wear them. So to kind of compensate or like fix that problem, I have this pair of fuzzy pants that I'm going to base the bottom half on because they're really comfortable, they're long, they have plenty of room, and they're baggy because these are just overalls to paint in, so you know, I might be throwing them on top of my clothes, whatnot, whatever. Okay, and then finally what I have here is the material that I'm going to make my overalls out of. Okay, so like I said, these are just overalls for me to paint in. They're not like fashion overalls, but you know, I do think that they're really cute, like your little painting overalls, and they have a bunch of paint stains on them and whatever. So to make my overalls, I'm going to just use like canvas drop cloth. So this right here is some leftover canvas drop cloth that I had from I made myself like a little triangle sunshade for my balcony. And so this is the leftover material from that. And then I just have another canvas drop cloth that I've had in my car for a really long time for when I go traveling painting. I'm thinking that a decent chunk, because this was like, I don't know, this was like a 5x9 piece of canvas drop cloth. I'm hoping that this will get a decent amount of it out of the way, and then I'll only have to use a little bit of this, because what I'd like to do with the leftover is kind of besides the point, but I really want to make smaller like drop cloths basically that I can use around my house. So that's the plan. Let's go ahead and get started. Yep. All right, that's my plan. I gotta get 4 legs, 2 straps, 1 front, 1 back, center pocket, 2 butt pockets, and 2 front pockets. Okay. To provide some maybe necessary context, I'm basically trying to make myself a pattern here from an existing piece of clothing. So I took all the pieces that I'm going to have to cut and put together, and I labeled them here on this sheet of paper. All right, I cut all of the pieces for the overalls. I think they're looking good. I'm a little nervous about a couple of things. To start with, I cut out all 4 of the pant pieces, and I gave myself a 1/2 inch of excess for like seam allowance and whatnot. And I'm a little nervous that it's not going to be enough. These guys are really, really fraying, and so I'm gonna have to like do the double tuck on these guys. You know what I'm saying? Double roll them so that the seam is tucked. It's been, I don't know, like over 10 years since I've sewed a pair of pants, so we'll see. Let's go ahead and start pinning stuff. That's gonna be a fun thing to do. Okay, so I did the pockets. You know, some of them are better than others. Somewhere along the lines, I did these 2 pockets for the front. And what you may be able to see here is that's the front of both of them, that's the back of both of them. They're exactly the same, which isn't perfect because they need to be like that in order to sit on the pants. So what I need to do is I cut another one, pinned it, and I'm gonna sew it. I'm gonna go pin that and then, or sew it, and then I'm going to sew the pockets onto the pant legs, and I'll see you back here when I'm pinning the pants together, because I'm just going to pin this and sew those and vibe into it. All right, so talk to you in a bit. the last pieces to sew. So let's go ahead and do it. Sticking on the sleeves now. Right now, I just gotta figure out how to attach these guys. And then I'm going to start these. Only so stick out back. Front, that's the front. Okay, so these are done. It goes through there, right? And back up through back of this, which there's not enough room. Oh wait. Come on. Get it. Yes. Ah. Okay, that way. And then I have to sew this guy. That's the buckles for the most part. And they work! Unfortunately, as you can see, I had to make the straps small enough to fit these guys, which means they're kind of too big there, but it's endearing. It's fine. It's cute. The whole thing is adorable. Now I've got to attach these suckers, and it's like this. It's a screw that goes in there, but the instructions say just to hammer it. Yeah. It's going to go in there. Okay. Alright, we finished that. This is the first garment I've ever made in my entire life. And I'm so freaking proud of myself. Look at how cool this is. This has buttons, okay? I have whole pockets on this guy, alright? Whole pockets. That's awesome, alright? That's so cool. Super proud of myself. The material, I do like that the material that I chose, I don't really care if I get paint on it because obviously that's the whole point. But I will say it's a little bit scratchy. I think that might be solved if I put it in the washing machine, wash it. But you know, for now it's just something that's a little bit scratchy, which is fine because it's for painting. It's not for perfection. It's not like for cutie, stylistic, anything. Any whoosies. Super proud of myself. Let's do a wrap up here. One thing that I don't like is you can see this, like, this buckle doesn't match it's not the right width of like the actual strap itself, and that's because these guys were smaller than these. And you know, could have been avoidable if I didn't go on a whim and was like, I'm gonna make some overalls today, and hit the store and then made some overalls. That I could have avoided by planning a little bit more, but I didn't. So we're fine and we're chilling. And really, if it really ever bothers me in the future, I could just replace it. I'm super happy. I think that you could totally, like I said earlier, I did this with just some canvas that I had lying around, some of these drop cloths. But yeah, if you go to Home Depot, get like the cheapest option. I think the one that I had was like 9 by 5 or something. It was a pretty small one. You could definitely do it with one. I had already used half of it for another project, and so I had to kind of dip into some other canvas drop cloths that I had. But you could totally use one. So if you try this, definitely let me know, and let's see how it turns out. And thanks for watching. Bye! Oh no! Oh, I broke the table. That's okay.